Hi guys, this is actually going to be my first video, my hair, on this channel. So if you're new here, which all of you are because this is my first video, hi, my name is Danielle and I'm 26 and I have two wonderful, beautiful children and a beautiful wife who is actually not with me right now. She's actually currently at basic training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. So I'm just waiting for her to get back. This has actually been really, really hard. I don't know what this channel is actually going to be. I don't know if it's going to be of me vlogging or if it's going to be me venting to you guys, but I'm really going through the gigs over here. I really thought about it whenever she told me that she was going to join. I was like, okay, I got this. You know, I grew up in a military family. My brothers, you know, they wound up leaving all the time. I was okay with it. It hurt, but I understood. But when you are a significant other, it hurts just a little bit more and it hurts a little bit differently. And so I'm just trying to, you know, stay positive because that's what she needs right now. So, but it's easier said than done. But she left last Monday. She went to MEPS and she stayed at the hotel and she did everything that she needed to, signed on the dotted line for the final time and swore in again officially, and she shipped out that afternoon to Oklahoma, and that's where she's at right now. She will be there for basic training and then she'll go to Fort Leonard Wood for AIT, which is advanced individual training, if I'm not mistaken. It's basically, so basic training is where you go to get whipped into shape, physical and, you know, getting fit and all that good stuff. And then AIT is where you actually train to do your job that you chose. So whatever job that you chose, that's where you learn how to do it pretty much. And then after AIT, you go to your first duty station, and we still have no idea where the hell that's going to be, because she's only at basics, so she's only been there for a week now. Well, actually not even really a week. It'll be a week tomorrow, but it's been a week that she's been away from me. And I was doing okay. She was at this thing called reception. Reception is where all new trainees go to fill out paperwork, apply for insurance, apply for, you know, their will and everything. Excuse me. They get into the system and they also register their spouses, the children, etc. And then because of COVID, they have something called CM, which is like yellow phase. It's controlled monitoring. So after you're in the system, you go from reception to CM. Basically what that means is you get picked up by a unit, you get put in a battalion, and you're in a small group, isolated for 2 weeks. That's how they're dealing with COVID. And when you're in these small groups, you are completely isolated. You do little PT trainings. And this is when it's hard for them because they don't have their phones, they don't have anything, you know, they can only do a little bit of training because they still have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 10 days that they have to do this, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's almost 2 weeks, but it's like 10 days. And they have to do this until they get told, okay, you're done, and you have to test negative. If you test negative at the end of CM, then you go right and start basic training like normal. She was able to call me every night before bed. Lights out is at 9. And I'm in Eastern North Carolina, so she's an hour behind. So when it's 10 o'clock my time, that's when she needs to be in bed because it's 9 o'clock her time. So she usually calls me around like 9:30 my time. And I haven't heard from her today. So, but she did tell me yesterday that she was packing her clothes and packing her bags and cleaning out her locker. So I was like, okay, she's probably going to get picked up by a unit soon, and I haven't heard from her today, so I'm assuming that's what happened. So she's probably at her unit, which means in the next couple of days, I should get that dreaded scripted phone call that lasts 17 seconds of her telling me She started basic, she got picked up by a unit, and her mailing information so I can mail her letters and packages and all that good stuff. It's hard, but my wife was not one of the many who were immediately sick upon arrival. A lot of soldiers in training were sick upon arrival and had to immediately be put in quarantine. Fortunately, she was not one of those people, and we were scared because in reception you have these thing called centers. Basically, you have to stand here, go here, go here, go here to fill out paperwork, and everyone has to do it. So you have to sit where another person just sat, and you have that risk of, oh God, if they have COVID, I'm gonna get COVID too. And there were multiple people being pulled out. Oh, you tested positive, you gotta go, you gotta go. And she was like, oh crap, I just sat in that seat. So that potentially could have been her, but I'm glad it wasn't so far. Fingers crossed, because she could get sick at any time. I'm hoping that she doesn't get sick. I'm hoping she doesn't ever get recycled. Recycled is where they take you out from where you are and they put you in a new platoon, and you basically either start over fresh or you start over after quarantine where you left off. It depends. If there's no platoon where you left off, then they will put you back at the beginning. The thing that bothered me the most about this, when she told me she wanted to join, was I was watching this YouTube video. I can't remember the young lady because I had never heard of Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I've heard of all these other bases, but this one in particular I've never heard of. So I didn't know of a prerequisite or anything about them. So when I was looking it up, there was this young lady on YouTube who told her experience, and she basically said that she was only supposed to be there for 10 weeks. She wasn't supposed to do AIT because that's not where her MOS needed. She didn't need an AIT. She was just supposed to do 10 weeks of basic and come home. She had started in July. She didn't come home till almost Christmas. And she was only supposed to be there 10 weeks. She got sick with COVID and had to start all the way back at the beginning. They had to keep restarting. She said her paycheck was beautiful by the time she got out though, which I would imagine so. But I mean, can you imagine only supposed to being there a little over 2.5 months, and you wind up being there for as long as she was? Like, that's insane. But that's what's been happening right now. It's because a lot of people are getting sick with COVID. And it's not just the people getting there that are getting sick, it's the people who've been there for a while, but they're getting sick afterwards because they still have to get their hair cut, they still have to go to the PX to get things, you know, their drill sergeants, you know, unfortunately some of them are bringing it onto base because they're allowed to leave base. That's how they're getting sick. And it's a very, very, you know, contagious disease. You know, I'm not surprised they're getting sick because they can't be in a bubble. You know, they have their 2 weeks of controlled monitoring, but at the end of the day, they still have to train and get things done. So I'm not surprised they're getting sick, but I just wish that they were pushing vaccines for them so that they won't get sick or they won't spread it. 1 second. These are my favorite drinks. The fruit fusions. I remember I had one of them one time and I just fell in love, so I just drink them all the time. So that's what's going on right now. Where am I hoping she gets stationed? I hope she gets stationed in North Carolina because that's where we're at right now. I know that sounds really weird because a lot of people always hope for Hawaii and stuff like that. I wouldn't want that as my first duty station. Let me tell you why. For me, my situation is a little bit different. My kids, obviously, you know, their dad is involved. So for my first duty station, I don't want them completely away from their dad so that he can't interact with them. I live 2 hours away from Fort Bragg, and I feel like that would be a good, you know, first duty station to try to like get him used to being away from the kids for so far. Before it's just like, oh, Germany, oh, Hawaii. It's like, that's such a big change. I feel like if we start off small and work our way up, it'll be easier a little bit for, you know, the kids and everything. Obviously, I can't say where we're gonna go. You're at the mercy of the military. You go where they tell you to go. But if I had to choose, I would definitely choose Fort Bragg. I would definitely choose Fort Bragg. Or I would even choose Fort Jackson in South Carolina. That's not a bad one. I definitely don't want to live outside of the United States. Not really. I've never really wanted to. But like I said, we go wherever they tell us to go. A little bit of back history of me and Kristin. Her name's Kristin. We actually went to school together. She rode my bus back in high school, and we never talked. I didn't know her name. I just noticed that she was someone who was younger than me, and I was quite envious because she had all these piercings and I wasn't allowed to have any, and I was older. And I was like, how is she allowed to have all these piercings and I can't even have that? And I just remember there was this fight that broke out on the school bus, and this larger woman, she like rammed into her, and her head just went wham into the bus window. And I was like, oh my god, are you okay? And she was like, yeah. And it was just like, I always thought she was so cute, but this was before I came out of the closet, so I didn't know I liked girls. For me, I was like, oh, do I like girls or do I think she's pretty? Like, I wasn't really sure, and I was very confused. I didn't come out until I was an adult after I had my kids, so it took me a long time to come out. But long story short, we reconnected on Facebook. She popped up on my People You May Know, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks familiar, but I had never knew her name. And you know, we chatted on Facebook, and I was like, hey, do you remember me? And she was like, yeah, I remember you. And we talked, chit chat, and we just talked. We were friends. We talked, and all of a sudden I fell in love with her, and she fell in love with me, and we talked for many months before we ever saw each other in person, because I lived 30 minutes from her. And we just talked, and we decided to finally go out on a date, and we went out on many dates, and then we finally made it official, and we've been together for almost 3 years. And we were supposed to get married in 2022 on Halloween, but a few months ago she dropped the bomb on me that she was joining the military. So long story short, we had to push it up a little bit. We plan on having a ceremony when she gets home so that we can announce it, because a lot of people don't know, but I guess if you watch my video you're gonna find out. But that's pretty much what we plan on doing right now, and I'm happy. I'm sad, but I'm happy because she's doing what she wants to do. She told me that this is what she sees herself doing. Because she used to work at Food Line, and I was content with that. I was happy because she was happy. But when she proposed to me last year, she said that she got like a flash of our future, and she said that she doesn't want to live this way for the rest of her life. She wants to do more. She wants to be more. And she said that I give her the push that she needs to want to be a better person, and she gives me that same push. I don't usually talk about this a lot because I get judged, but I don't know how to drive. Driving is actually a fear that I have. It scares the hell out of me, so it's something I never really saw myself doing, but I've been little by little learning how to drive, and I do plan on getting my driver's license while she's gone. And I've been practicing, and I'm getting really good, and I never in a million years would have gotten behind the wheel if it wasn't for her. It's like we give each other that push that you need, like, oh no, you got this, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. I needed that, and she needed that too. So I think we're good for each other when it comes to that, because we both know how to push each other past our comfort zone. Because I was always terrified to get behind the wheel, and people would always tell me, you need to get your license, but no one ever pushed me to get it, you know? Nobody was ever like, no, you're gonna get it, and I'm gonna be here with you, we got this, we got this. Nobody ever did anything like that. Anybody was like, oh yeah, you need to get your license. It's like, oh yeah, everybody could tell me that. But she was the only person that actually pushed me and guided me and taught me how and made me feel comfortable. And so because of her, I'm driving, I'm behind that wheel, and it's because of her, 110%. And I don't know what I would do without her. And I can't wait for you guys to like follow us on our journey of her basic training journey and AIT and our first duty station. I plan to vlog everything, and I want you guys to get to know her and see her, and my kids as well will be a part of this. This is just like a pilot. Is that what they call like the first episode of a show? A pilot, just to see how you guys like it, and if you guys want to see more videos, or I can maybe insert pictures when I learn how to do that. I just kind of want to bring you guys with me, because right now it's pretty lonely. If it weren't for my babies, I don't know what I would do, because they get me through it. My daughter, she's having a hard time sometimes. She's used to FaceTiming her at night and stuff like that, and now we can't do anything, so it's really hard. So that's my story for now. This is our first video that we're putting out, and I hope to vlog and show you guys more, and also have her included whenever she gets home. But that's my first video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you subscribe. And if you have any questions in the comments, like anything you want to know about me or her or our journey or whatever it is, put it in the comments and I will make a video about it, because I'm an open book and I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I just don't want to get judged. We're not a typical couple. You know, when you hear about military wives, you don't ever think about, oh, lesbians. You know, it's always a man and a woman. It's very rare that it's a couple like me. So if I can inspire other people to talk about, you know, what they're going through or things like that, then I'm gonna do that. And it seems a little bit different, because all the Army wife vlogs that I've watched, it's always a man and a woman. I haven't seen any gay ones, so maybe I'm the start of that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you like this video. Bye guys.